Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. My name is Marie. On this episode of Sister to Sister, I want to talk about Omuguo. If you're interested in this topic, please keep watching. On this topic, on this edition of Sister to Sister, I want to talk to our younger sisters out there, young women out there, concerning this business of Omuguo. You know, it's a tradition. It's called Omuguo. I think that's from the eastern part of Nigeria. That's where the name Omuguo comes from. But it simply means that a mother who goes to nurse her child and her married daughter who just gave birth, she goes to help take care of the new mother and her child. And I suppose that is a tradition that cuts across our country, Nigeria. I just took off my glasses. You know, that's a tradition that cuts across all cultures in Nigeria. And this is a topic that one has to look at and be able to balance. You come to a proper place of balance, because it's a subject that is touching, because it borders on husband and wife and a few other things also. The issue of Omuguo is, like I said, the cuts across tradition. Or it's a situation where a mother, the mother of the woman or the mother of the husband, goes to help the new wife adjust to motherhood, meaning that she just put to bed and she needs assistance with babies, with her baby or babies as the case may be. It has to do with her being given the opportunity to learn firsthand from either her mother or her mother-in-law how to look after her newborn. I think the mindset is that she may not be too familiar with how to look after a newborn. So these mothers go to offer their assistance. Now, when that is done, it's a good thing when the mother is able to travel to go to the daughter's home and stay there for an agreed period of time, ranging from 1 week to 3 months, maybe longer, depending on the couple and what they planned out. Now, in the event of a mother not being able to go for Omuguo, that's to go to help the daughter nurse her baby, the husband and wife also may come to an agreement, you know, that, okay, see, I would need my mother to help me and blah, blah, blah. So they may decide that she has to go to her mother to help her nurse the baby if she's unable to travel, you know, and that happens in certain families or with some newly married couples. But I got this mail and I want to share it with you concerning a lady whose mother was unable to come for Omuguo, that's to help her nurse her baby. So she decided to go to her family and have her baby. This is the storyline. My husband is an unrepentant cheat and a liar. I am 9 months pregnant and traveled to my mom's place to deliver, which was a unanimous agreement because my immediate elder sister just put to birth, so my mom can't come for my Omuguo. As soon as I traveled, my husband brought a girl to the house. After that one, he also brought another one who happens to be a neighbor's sister to the house, and he gave them my spare key. The girl sleeps in my house, cooks for him and washes for him. When I traveled, he always complained of slow business and no money. But he takes that girl out every day and buys things for her and her sister and her sister's children whenever he's coming back from work. What aroused my suspicions was that he stopped picking my call. And on his birthday, which was 12th of this month, he sent me an SMS at midnight not to call his line again. And if I call, he won't pick up. So I had to ask my security man's wife what happened, and then she gave me the rundown. Now, with this issue of this young lady who traveled for Omuguo, Ordinarily, it won't be a bad thing to travel for Omuguo, but people are different. So I am going to talk about it from two perspectives, and I beg you to please reason with me. Now, when you get married, the objective of marriage is that the two of you will stay together, learn yourselves, and be each other's friends, and grow together. Now, as some ladies conceive, it's even a bit broader. I'll probably enumerate a lot more than you anticipated. Now, some ladies, when they conceive, they begin to get sick, they get nauseous, vomiting, and all that goes with it. Some outrightly just pack out and go to their mother's house and go and stay with their mother, leaving their husbands alone. This is a man who, before you married, probably had series of girlfriends, and you had to fight your way to become his wife. You suddenly now leave him alone because you're pregnant and you go back to your mother's house to stay. I would say that is not altogether right. You say, oh, the lady is sick, she needs help. Yes, she needs help. You also have to learn to mature. When you get married, you have to learn to mature. If you do not learn to mature, as soon as you get married or before you get married, you are going to be encountering a lot of problems. When you're pregnant and you are feeling sick, part of being married is for you to learn to endure things. So you're going to learn to handle things yourself. Help yourself. Your husband also will have to give you a bit more attention. You have to learn to deal with issues yourself without running back home. Okay, so with young ladies who get pregnant and because you're feeling sick, you run back home to your mother to look after you, it's not right. You are leaving rooms for a whole lot of things. Being pregnant and being married and getting pregnant is not, pregnancy is not a sickness that does not go away. Your hormones are only just disorganized because of the pregnancy. You have to learn to endure things, take care of yourself, nurse yourself without running back home. It's a sign of maturity and seriousness in marriage. As a young lady, you have to understand that. The question I would like to even ask at this point is, if you were living outside Nigeria and your parents are back home here in Nigeria and you get pregnant wherever, maybe you're in Argentina for instance, would you take a flight back home to come and stay with your mother because you want to be nursed that you're pregnant? Of course not. You wouldn't do that. If you wouldn't do that if you're outside Nigeria, then don't do that while you're in Nigeria. Don't say, oh, I live in the same city with my mom because I'm feeling so sick. You need somebody to baby you. Baby yourself. Baby yourself. Grow up. You're already pregnant, so you can't be a baby and you want to give birth to a baby. You have to be matured to be able to look after a baby, and that including monitoring your own self and helping your own self while you're pregnant. That now brings me to the issue of this young lady who left home for her mother to help her nurse her baby. What she did was not altogether wrong because she's married and they agreed together with her husband. What gets my attention is she said she already knew that her husband is a cheat and a liar. That's how she said it. He's an unrepentant cheat and a liar. If you have already so tagged your husband, that means you already know his whims and caprices. That means you should have known better than leave your home to travel for Omuguo. You shouldn't have traveled. The bottom line, see, we all had children at a point in time in our lives, and our mothers probably had to come and help us. My case was particular. My mother came to help me also. So I'm not talking to you out of a storybook, a story that I read. No, let me chip in something about me here that I want you to understand. When I just gave birth to my first child, all through the course of pregnancy, I was in my house doing my thing. Was I feeling sick? Of course I was. Of course I was. Our emotions, how do I put it now? Our health and our systems really do change when we're pregnant. But like I said, managing yourself is a deal. You've got to manage yourself. So I managed myself. My husband still had to go to work. I had to cook. I had to wash. I had to do everything. He helped. Yes, he's wonderful and he did help. But I had to learn to manage my life because he's my husband and I'm the wife, and a wife does manage her home. And that I did. When I gave birth and my mother came like a week after, because my father was already aged and old, she really couldn't stay so long. When she came, she stayed with me for like 2 weeks, and she was like, you know, your dad is old and I've got to go back home. He's all alone. Of course, I had to understand that, and she went. Let me tell you what made mine so funny. The first night I was alone with my baby after my mother came, God, I cried myself so, because when my mother came for Omuguo, she's the one that will bathe baby. She takes care of the baby, bathe the baby, takes care of the baby, and tells me to go and sleep. When baby needs to be breastfed, she will wake me up. She will bring the baby to me and say breastfeed, and I will breastfeed. Sometimes I express so that she can give to baby so that I can sleep some more. The first night after my mother left, it was traumatic. My first son will not stop crying. It got to a point I will breastfeed. As I'm putting him down, he's crying again. Long story short, I started crying. I wept myself sore. I felt pity for myself. I could not sleep. My child could not sleep. I was upset. You know, everything just fell upon themselves, and I cried myself. So after crying, I arranged myself. I said, babes, your mom has gone back. You are the one that got married. You are the one that wanted to get married. You were the one that wanted to have children. So I used my tongue to count my teeth, and I settled down and I nursed my son. He's in the university as we speak. Now, this young lady, knowing that her husband is a serial cheat, she had no business leaving her home to go for Omuguo. She should have stayed and taken care of her home and her husband to protect her marriage. She should have sat down back home. It is not, supposing you were outside Nigeria, and you couldn't get visa for your mother to come, what would you do? Won't you look after your baby? Won't you look after yourself? Won't you look after your husband? You would. And so you should do the same. Am I therefore exonerating the husband? Emphatically no. I'm not exonerating him. A man ought to be disciplined. A man ought to be disciplined. And discipline is not only in the place of work and providing for your family. You also have to discipline your emotions. A man has to discipline his emotions. He has to be able to control himself. He has to be able to control himself. Sexually, are you saying that if the man, for instance, were to travel on a long, let's say he traveled for official business that took him for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, is he going to say he's not going to be able to abstain from sex because he's away from home? That's a sign of indiscipline. A man ought to be disciplined. So I'm not exonerating this husband. No, I'm only saying that this young lady should have been able to sit down and say, see, I know the kind of person I'm married to. The moment I go now, this man will be all over town. Let me sit down and have my baby. She should have sat down and had her baby. That's what you ought to have done. Sat down in your home, have your baby, so that he will also be a part of the business and know what it means to have a child. Not you going to your mother for traveling so far away from home. You know, to a lot of young ladies out there, I will say this to you. If your mother or anybody is unable to come for Omuguo, sit down, have your baby, nurse your baby, together with your husband. Let him have a foretaste of what it means to be a family. If you do not sit down with him so that he can see you put to bed, he can see you wake up at night, and your mother-in-law is just the only one doing that because you traveled, and he sleeps all through the night, and he wakes up and he goes to work like a small fine boy. He does not know what it means to be married, and you have not helped his ministry. You have not helped him at all. So how are you going to help him? Sit down. To those of you who are not yet married and you're listening to me, listen to my counsel, because it will help. Especially if you have a husband who has roving eyes. What are you going to do when you want to, instead of going for Omuguo and your mother is unable to come for the Omuguo? So what do? Sit in your home. Have your baby together with your husband there. Let him also wake up at night when you cannot sleep and you have to breastfeed and baby is crying through the night. Let him also be a part of it. When he goes to office, he should doze a bit. They will therefore know that he's a new father. Every new father has a story to tell. Let your husband also have that story to tell. Man, my new baby isn't giving me peace at all. I mean, I've been awoke all night. I've been awake. By the time he's awake and he's tired, he will not have the energy to go chasing after other women. Young girls, use wisdom to arrange your home. so that you won't fight battles that are unnecessary. I agree that those that are cheats, yes, but wisdom is profitable to direct. Wisdom is also able to guide you, to help guide your man, to help guide your home, and help you build your home in peace. Must you go for Omuguo? No, you mustn't. You mustn't. Counsel yourself. Instruct yourself. If your friends are saying, oh, you got to go for Omuguo, no, say no. You don't have to tell anybody why you don't go for Omuguo. Don't say, oh, my husband, oh, blah, blah. No, don't run him down that way. Don't run him down that way. Just go ahead and say, no, I'm giving birth here. My mother is unable to come. Whenever she's able to come, she's able to come. Some men even go ahead, bait their babies, they bait their wives. It brings them to a place of union. It's a bind. It's like a bind that binds the husband and wife together. Because he has seen this woman put to bed. See her wake up in the middle of the night breastfeeding. See her in the morning washing clothes. And she's tired. She wants to sleep. And baby's needing attention. And then he has to play his role as father. You know, the internet is awash with videos of husbands, of men who nurse their babies, carry their babies on their chest and sleep so that their wives can rest. Your husband too should be able to do that without your mother necessarily coming for Omuguo. Am I therefore ruling out the place of Omuguo? No, everything has its space. Everything has its place, especially when you have a husband who has roving eyes. Okay, use wisdom to build your home. Use wisdom to guide your home. Let the word of God always instruct you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sister to Sister. I'll see you again in another video. Bye bye.